The last vacuum in our commercial vacuum cleaner series is the Hoover Hushtone CH54013, and it was a great late addition to this series. We put it through all of our usual tests, and I really think I like the Hoover Hushtone. So links in the description for current prices, and let's get started. Before we get to the test, let's hit some of the basic features. The Hoover Hushtone upright commercial vacuum comes in a 13-inch brush roll version and a 15-inch brush roll version. Other than that, those two are basically the same vacuum. It's one of the only vacuums in this series that has two power options, so you can keep the noise level down on low power when you want, and you can get more performance on high power when you need it. It has a 5-level manual height adjustment from bare floors to high carpet. It doesn't have a brush roll shutoff switch, but it does have a fairly heavy-duty squeegee on the bottom that allows it to vacuum hard floors without scattering debris. It's a sealed system with a fairly large post-motor HEPA filter, which we'll talk more about later. It has a number of features that make it commercial grade, including an independent 40-foot cord which can easily be replaced with a standard extension cord, metal construction in key areas like the front part of the bottom plate, and a full bag/clog indicator. It comes with a crevice tool and a dusting brush. Both are stored on board, and it's assembled in America at the Cookeville, Tennessee location. Okay, so let's start with the power tests. We measured its airflow on both power settings at the hose and at the cleaner head and found that it was really powerful. Even on its low power, it was as much or more powerful than 3 of the 5 other uprights in this series. And in its high power mode, it was only surpassed by the Sanitaire Tradition, which uses a fairly rare direct air motor. Its suction numbers were pretty good at 69 inches of water lift, which is about average in this series. Suction is mostly needed for using the attachment set with the hose, and it does have a nice easy way to remove the hose and wand, like 3 of the others in this series, which all have a fairly comparable hose and wand length, by the way. With the carpet deep clean test, where we embed exactly 100 grams of sand into medium pile carpet and weigh the bags before and after, it got the second highest score in this series at 98%. In terms of picking up debris on the surface of hard floors and carpet, I was really impressed, especially with its hard floor performance. It was able to pick up all the debris from fine to extra large really well on hard floors in both low and high power, much better than its competitors, 2 of which, both the Sanitaires for example, can't be used on hard floors at all. But what was really cool was that it was able to pick up the smallest to the largest bits of debris with no adjustment. I kept it on the bare floor setting the entire time, which is pretty rare. On that point, it showed it had a great seal on hard floors with a top-tier performance on the crevice pickup test, doing better than any in this series so far. On carpets, it was also good with debris pickup, though I did find that when it came to larger debris, it did require some adjustment, as the middle setting was not tall enough for Cheerios or larger debris, so I did have to go all the way up to the highest setting. It was able to get all the debris without the wand though, which is better than some of its competitors. Though I did notice a little more debris left under the vacuum than normal, which I noticed on the medium and high power settings on low and high power, so it was a consistent issue at least on carpets. The net result is that it took a few extra passes to pick up the bits of larger debris. One of my favorite features is the sealed system with HEPA filtration, which is just so important and thankfully becoming less rare. Anyway, it passed the fog test with no visible fog, which is great, and in the dry particle test, where we vacuum up a special kind of testing dust in a sealed room and measure the air with a particle counter, it had a perfect score with no statistical increase from the baseline, which is only the 3rd vacuum in this series to pass this test, and probably the best overall. The name Hoover Hushtone suggests that it's ultra quiet, but in our tests I found it to be just a little quieter than normal. The Sanitaire Eon Quiet Clean and the Pro Team were actually slightly quieter, but the point is that with the exception of the super loud Sanitaire Tradition and Auric XL, the Hoover Hushtone was quiet, but not exceptionally so. At 18.5 pounds, it's pretty heavy, but then again, pretty much all of the commercial vacuums in this series are extremely heavy, with the exception of the Auric. Also, like the others, it doesn't have a swivel head, so handling is not the best. It has a 2-year warranty, and it's much more reasonably priced than some of its competitors. For example, at the current prices, you could almost buy 2 Hoover Hushtones for 1 Windsor Sensor XP12. I really like the Hoover Hushtone, and it has a good chance of winning this series, which will conclude with the final competition video coming out soon, so be sure to subscribe to Vacuum Wars to keep up with all the latest vacuums, robot vacuums, and carpet cleaners, and thanks for watching.